What's going down, guys? TK Pryor coming at you, hopefully with another chance to open minds, expose you to some information that maybe you never thought about. I always come at you guys with the concept of international diversification. Taking your assets and including decentralized currency in your financial plan. And the reason why I do that is because everyone on this planet, everyone who owns paper money, needs to also own a higher form of money that is not connected to a bank or a government. Doesn't matter what form of money that you have, if it's fiat, meaning paper, you need to have an alternate form of currency that has a higher purchasing power, so that if anything happens to paper, you'll still be able to participate in the economic system that we live and participate in right now with paper money. Because the thought process is, by the average person who doesn't understand the economic world that we live in, the thought process is that there is never going to be a change in the status quo. That life as you know it right now is never going to change. The thought process by the average person, by 99, probably 0.9% of people, is that paper money is never going to fail. Everyone believes that. Because if you did believe otherwise, you would act otherwise. I wouldn't have to convince people to diversify into gold currency and cryptocurrency, because you would already feel the prudent fire of the paper money devaluing in your pocket, and you would act with a sense of urgency to diversify and include higher forms of currency. If you know that you're on a house that's built with cards, and you see that there's a windstorm coming, it only makes sense to prepare for that windstorm, because you know you're sitting in a house of cards. So the issue is that people don't understand that they're sitting in a house of cards. People, and that the monetary system that is fiat runs in cycles. And in those cycles, guess what happens? Every 7 years, there's a reset. So if you pay attention to the last financial reset, 2007, 2008, we're due for another one here shortly. So what I want people to do is prepare to actually acquire some financial insurance. And the reason why I continuously share videos on Facebook about financial insurance is because I understand that everyone needs, but people don't understand that they need. That's the key. The key is, okay, I'm going to take a portion of my money, because I understand the urgency of fiat money declining in value, in purchase power. I'm going to take a portion of my paper money and I'm going to convert it to gold currency. I'm going to convert it to cryptocurrency, because I understand that those are higher forms of money that spend further, because the purchasing power is greater. I gave you guys an example of international diversification with my National Bank of Kuwait credit card, or I should say debit. But anyway, I told you guys that when I went to Europe, I had lunch. I spent about 20 euro and about 3 KD came out of my account because of the fact that the paper here in Kuwait is worth 3 to 1 US dollars. 3.2, I think, is where it's at right now. So if I spend US dollars with my Kuwait card, my purchase power is greater because of the fact that the money is valued at a higher level. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you do the same thing with your paper money, if you do the same thing with your assets, then essentially you're going to open a door to financial empowerment, because you want to switch to a higher form of currency that spends further, gives you more purchasing power. But the most important thing, actually there's two important things, but the most important thing is that it's decentralized currency. It's not backed by the government, and it's not backed by a bank, not controlled by a government, and not controlled by a bank. So situations like Cyprus won't affect you. Situations like Greece won't affect you, because you took a portion of your money and guess what? You converted it. So now you can use the portion that you converted in time of a crisis. So not believing there's a crisis is the same thing as saying, I'm never going to buy car insurance because I don't believe I'm going to get in an accident. Now, most of us try to drive without getting in an accident, but it's foolish to say, I'm not going to buy car insurance. Same thing if you own a house. If you own a house and you don't have insurance associated with that house, it's foolish to say nothing will ever happen to this house. I don't need insurance. Well, the same concept applies with money insurance, because if you acquire a higher form of money right now, then in the event that paper money shows its face in devaluation, you can still participate in the economy. Now, everybody has an excuse why they can't and don't and aren't interested. But the fact is, insurance is never thought about until you need it. And if you have an accident tomorrow and you think about, I need some car insurance, it's too late. So what I want you guys to do is utilize the power of higher forms of money. Get into decentralized currency and make sure that you own it. How much gold currency do you own? How much cryptocurrency do you own? $100,000 in gold currency, $100,000 in cryptocurrency. That should be your foundation that you stand on, lean on, and leverage against. If you don't have that, then you need to work to build that. So, well, if I don't make $100,000, how can I get $100,000 in alternative currency? With what is known as sweat equity or leverage-based income that's associated with higher forms of currency. See, paper money doesn't pay you to get other people involved. If you go out and you refer somebody to Bank of America and they open an account at the same branch that you work in, or the same branch that you go to, Bank of America is not going to pay you for getting somebody else involved. But leverage-based income does pay you when you get other people involved. So what I'm saying is, it's a smart economic decision because it helps put money back into your pocket. But first and foremost, it's decentralized currency, not associated with a central authority, and it gives you the power of leverage. I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope that I can finally reach someone who says, you know what, I don't own any gold currency. You know what, I don't own any cryptocurrency. I do, so I can help you through that process of conversion. And that's what the purpose of this video is. The purpose is to try to reach people with the concept that maybe you never thought about. Maybe you don't know that there's other forms of money. Maybe you don't realize that international diversification is the key to surviving any type of financial crisis.